My name is Marianne Oliveira. I am 28 years old and I am a business owner. When I was 13, I discovered that my father had cheated on my mother, and I was very attached to him. This affected me greatly because he then left the house with the other woman. This really upset me. I fell ill and became depressed. This was how I came to the Universal Church. I started to get involved with the things of God. I started to know more about God. I got baptized in water. I then thought that I had received the Holy Spirit. I was raised as an assistant and remained as such. However, my craving for fatherly love was always in me. Any demonstration of interest that I got, I was quick to get attached, thinking that this would be the man of my life. That was how I dated and got engaged to a guy. After a 4-year relationship, he cheated on me. We were already getting things ready and I was working hard to prepare for marriage when I found out that he was cheating on me with one of the bridesmaids. It was shocking for me because what had happened between my mother and father was now happening to me. I realized that I was attached to him, but not to God. That was my worst moment because everything that I had been through before coming to the church, the depression, the anguish and emptiness that I had in me, all came back, but they came back doubly worse. I started to lose weight. I lost my job. I sunk back into depression. I couldn't go out to work. I couldn't take care of myself. I lost 10 kilos, so I became skin and bones. I couldn't do anything. This was not only affecting me, but my family also, because they saw my situation. Before I was cheated on, I was doing the work of God. I was an assistant, and with all of this, I left the work of God. I didn't even have the strength to go to church. That was when I started to get involved with other men who were not from the church. I wanted male attention. Therefore, any man who gave me a little bit of attention, I would go after him. Whatever the time of day, I would go after him because I wanted male attention. What I really wanted was not only male attention, I also wanted to fill the emptiness that I had inside. However, none of them were able to fill it. I held a grudge against him. I held a grudge against her. I would go on social media and see their pictures together. Soon after, I saw that she was pregnant, so I saw my dream being lived by someone else. That absolutely killed me. Every time I saw him or found something else out, or when someone disclosed something about them, this would kill me. It would destroy me inside. I also didn't know how to react because I was so unwell that I couldn't remember that the only one who could take away what I was feeling was God. I could only think about getting even. This was until one day I was in the toilet crying because I would always lock myself in the toilet to cry, being the only place where I could have privacy at home. When I remembered everything that I had experienced in the church. Though I didn't know God, I knew that I belonged there, that God was the only one who could fill this void. I remember that I cried so much in the toilet because I said, "My God, I don't want to have this emptiness anymore. I don't want this pain anymore." I remember that I cried out. I said, "My God, restore what I have lost." However, I didn't want marriage. I didn't want a man. I wanted peace. I wanted God's love. This was when God told me, "My daughter, the love that you seek so much for in your father or in men, only I can give it to you." I then made a vow with God. I said, "I am going to get up, but not only the physical Marianne, but Marianne's soul. She will get up from the floor. I am going to pick myself up. I am going to receive your spirit. I am going to do whatever it takes. I am going to fight, and you will have to give him to me because this is your promise." The next day I went to church. I went with the certainty that God was going to talk to me and that meeting was for me. God spoke to me. He said, "My daughter, I have always wanted to give you the manna. I have always wanted to give you the best, but you always sought for the wrong love." He said that he would give me his fatherly love, but this was not the day that I received the Holy Spirit. I still had many things in me to overcome: grudges, resentment, My inner battle seemed to have no end. But then I said, I have to start from scratch. I need to get baptized in water. I went and told the pastor, Pastor, I need to get baptized. I went back the next day, got baptized in water, and started to ask for forgiveness. I went to my ex and asked him for forgiveness. I asked his girlfriend for forgiveness and prepared myself. I wore my best clothes. I started a fast. I went to church early in the morning and said, I won't leave here today without your presence. You will have to come down today because I need your love. I have to fill this emptiness. I was already steady and well, but I knew that if I did not receive the Holy Spirit, I wouldn't remain in the church. I wouldn't remain because this was what had happened in the beginning. I thought that I was well. The feeling of well-being was there, but then I fell or kept falling with a man. I said, it can't continue like this. I truly have to receive your Spirit. I then received him. He came upon me, and it was wonderful. I remember that it was as if no one else was in the church. It was just me and the Holy Spirit. I received his fatherly love. I received the presence of God. There are no words to explain it. Only those who have the Holy Spirit know what this is like and what it means to have God, who is so great, and me being so small and have him living in me. The love I sought so hard for, fatherly love, the love of other men, God gave to me. God gave me his love. He gave me his fatherly love, marital love. He gave me everything. He was my fiancé. He was my father. He was my husband. He was my everything. It was wonderful. As a result, everything started to change. After that day, I became a different Marianne. I didn't care if I was in church and everyone would see me and say, she's a former assistant, or if I was going to run into anyone. I simply wanted to serve. So I started from scratch. I went to the youth group. I said, I'm going to evangelize. I'm going to save souls and I'm going to use my testimony to help others. I kept going until one day I met my husband, who was in the youth group as well. Initially, I said, no, I don't want this. Then God said, my daughter, this is the man that I have prepared for you. Things happened differently. Everything was done correctly. We dated, got engaged. It was all wonderful. It was as if God had prepared a gift and gave it to me. Take it. This is the man I have brought to you. We then got married. That was the second happiest moment in my life after the Holy Spirit. It was my marriage to a blessed man. The Holy Spirit is everything to me. He is my greatest joy. He is my strength. He is the one who comforts me and consoles me. Whenever I face a situation, I don't go looking for my friends anymore. No, I look to God. I say, what do I do? What would you have me do? The Holy Spirit is my foundation. Without him, I am nothing.